Hello, my name is Greg Schubert, and I'm doing a little video about something that happened to me. I got arrested by the police department and taken to jail. While I was in jail, what they did is they did some cell extractions on me. When they did, they opened the door on my cell, and I offered to sit down in a restraint chair. Well, they had that restraint chair has what they call passive restraints. They're straps that strap your arms and legs to the chair. And I was there, and I was asking to be able to use the phone, make my phone call. I was going to call my dad and let him know I was in jail. Well, they didn't let me do that, so I was trying to get anybody's attention while I could. Well, those cells are so thick walled that you have to yell because there's steel doors and all that. Well, I did that, and it made the guards mad. So they came and opened my cell and was going to put me in one of them chairs. Well, it's called a restraint chair, and what it's supposed to do is it's supposed to protect you or fellow inmates and guards from getting hurt. Well, they used it for administrative to shut me up, and so they came in and they did a cell extraction. They grabbed me through the concrete, put wrist locks on me, then they put me in the chair, handcuffed me to the chair because they had replaced the straps with handcuffs. Then they put me back in the cell and left me in. And they did that 4 times. They actually broke my ribs. And so I asked for medical care, and they denied me that. They stepped on my glasses. I mean, they did a lot of that. 11 times they put me in that chair. They paraded me around in front of everybody else to humiliate me. If I had done something like that to them, I would have had assault, tampering with evidence. They broke my glasses and they threw them away. I wanted them for evidence that they tore them up. I can prove it because my mugshot had the black rimmed glasses. Well, I had some other broken glasses here, and I had to use those. So, meanwhile, I go to court and I go to arraignment. Well, they don't have actually an attorney at the arraignment, so I didn't want to enter a plea without an attorney. Well, the judge thought there was something wrong with me and ordered a drug test. Well, I didn't have trouble with that, but when I come out, I said I didn't have to pee, so the guard that was going to transport me over there told me he was going to tell the judge. I refused. Well, I didn't refuse. I said I'd take one blood test. Well, meanwhile, since I was yelling and screaming, they had this psychiatrist come and talk to me. When he did, I started talking to him, and I asked him about religion. And when he did, it made him mad, and he called me minister, and he left. Well, I didn't know why he even talked to me at that point, because nobody was really telling me. Well, after I got out, next time I went to the judge, they found me incompetent, legally incompetent. And they were turned around and they had me committed. And I went up to a mental hospital. And when I was there, first thing they did was grab me and hold me down and give me an injection. They did that to me twice in 30 hours. Well, that made me mad, of course. Then I run my mouth on them because, that wasn't right. Because I refused the drugs, but they held me down and injected me with a hypodermic needle. So I get done doing that, and then next thing you know, they took my glasses. Well, I'm pretty much blind without them, and that made me mad. So that was the first couple days that I was in that hospital. They call it a hospital, but actually you're locked down. You can't go anywhere. It's just like a prison or a jail. And you get a little bit of rec time outside, and that's about it. You can watch TV and a little radio. You can get on the phone, but you're limited to 20 minutes on the phone if you can remember the phone number. But like I said, you're locked down there. Well, that team there was supposed to restore me to competency is what it was supposed to be doing, and that's where they teach you what the judge does, the prosecutor, the defense lawyer, the stenographer, the bailiff, different parts of the courts and what they do, plus the 4 pleas, guilty, not guilty, no contest, and not guilty by reason of insanity. Well, they don't. I already knew all that because, see, I worked in a sewer department, and I ran the county sewer department, and I had to know how to look up laws of the Ohio Revised Code. So I already knew what all parts of the judges did, and knew how to look up laws in the state of Ohio. Well, since they found me incompetent, that allowed that caused somebody to be appointed as my guardian. In other words, like I was a child. Well, that law has got a reason. You know, it's for like people that's had severe brain damage, or somebody that's had Alzheimer's or dementia. They're no longer able to take care of themselves, so what they do is they appoint a guardian over them. That's usually a family member, and with me, it's my dad. But what that does is that allowed him to take over my check and my checking accounts. So, I mean, that was kind of a bad thing, because I'm not incompetent. I'm actually intelligent, and so that all went on. And now I'm having to go, and it caused a bill. That hospital, I didn't sign any papers for consent or anything. I was ordered there by court order, and I was taken there in handcuffs. Well, I get home, and they send me the bill for that, and I looked at that bill, and it's $54,000. Plus, they got me on this shot that cost $1,300. So it's cost right now like $60,000 is what it's cost so far. Then, in order for me to put myself back to competency, which it was all involuntary, I have to go to another psychological evaluation for somebody to say, he's competent, because there was an expert opinion that I wasn't. Well, they used those outbursts to call me bipolar and manic, and which is symptoms of schizophrenia. Well, I'm not schizophrenic at all. So that's what I just wanted to let you know, is this law, you don't have to get arrested for it to happen. You can actually, somebody can petition the court for about $70-some and say that you're incompetent. Well, if you don't want to go, and you don't want to go through the evaluation, the judge can order it, and then they'll actually arrest you by handcuffs and restrain you and take you there, and then they will go ahead and evaluate you. And if you had a lot of money in the house and all that kind of thing, they can appoint a guardian over you, and they'll have control of your money and your house and your property. And so if they don't agree with the way you're spending your money, they could actually do this and have like 4 or 5 of the kids come together and have you declared incompetent. And if that's true, then a guardian can take over, and they can take your money away from you. If you are found legally incompetent, you're not allowed to have a weapon, so that takes your constitutional right there. And like with me, I was forensic. That means that I was charged with a crime, and I was charged. I was never convicted of the crime, and those charges have been dropped, but that's because of my legal incompetency. But still, they could be brought back up. And so I thought I'd let you know that, look, this is a real law, and it really could happen to you, and you need to be aware of it, and you need to make it in your will so that, in case something like this happens, you can control who's going to get hold of your money. And that's about all I've got to say to that now, and I appreciate it. Bye.